Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are opening a file that feels less like a standard literary analysis and, I don't know, more like walking a tightrope over a very deep, very dark canyon.
Hmm.
We are digging into B.A. Paris's psychological thriller, When I Kill You.
Hmm.
And you know, the title alone should give you a hint about the stakes here. It's not if it's when.
It is such a chilling premise, isn't it? It sets a clock ticking from the very first moment. And what we have in front of us is this fascinating multi-layered stack of sources. We've got narrative accounts, police interactions, and these terrifying, really intimate diary entries.
Right.
And they all paint a picture of a woman just living on the edge of a precipice.
Exactly. We're looking at the life of Nell Masters, and on the surface, she seems to have it all together.
Yeah, the perfect life.
She runs a charity in Brixton. She has this handsome jet-setting boyfriend named Alex, and she lives in a cute little mews house in Paddington. But underneath that veneer, it is just absolute chaos.
It's a classic case of a fractured identity. You have Nell in the present, trying to build this safe, charitable life. But then you have the past, where she was a woman named Elle Nugent.
Elle Nugent.
A woman
Yeah.
involved in a media storm, a stalking accusation, and a tragic death. And then bridging those two timelines is this third element in our sources, Notebook 4.
Notebook 4. Just the name gives me the creeps. It's a stalker's diary, and it's not just observing her, it's hunting her. So our mission today is really to unravel this web. We need to figure out, is the danger coming from a stranger in the shadows? Is it a ghost from her traumatic past coming back for revenge? Or, and this is the part that really keeps me up at night, is the danger sleeping right next to her?
That is the core conflict. It's that tension between the external threats and her internal paranoia. And to really understand that, we have to start with the baseline. We have to look at who Nell Masters is right now before the walls start closing in.
Right. So let's unpack Nell's life in the present day. She works at a place called Drop-In. It's a charity in Brixton. And honestly, looking at her routine, she seems incredibly dedicated.
Totally.
She's there at 7 a.m., making instant coffee, dealing with funding, managing workshops on grief, and returning to work. She seems so normal.
Normalcy is the armor she's trying to wear. She's created this sanctuary at Drop-In. And it's not just a generic office. The source material gives a very granular look at her life there.
Oh, yeah.
Arriving at 7 a.m., that tells you she is avoiding the rush, right? She's avoiding people. She sits in the courtyard before the city fully wakes up. She describes the silence settling on her shoulders like a warm blanket.
That's a beautiful image, but it's also a lonely one.
Very lonely.
She's the manager now. She used to be a volunteer. Now she's dealing with corporate sponsorships, trying to get funding. I mean, it sounds stressful, but she finds it satisfying. It's her domain. She has this little office with a steel shutter.
That steel shutter is such a recurring motif. She opens it to let the day in, but she is very quick to close it to keep the night out. And then there's Sadie. Sadie is this burst of energy in Nell's sort of grayscale world.
Yeah.
Sadie brings muffins every Friday.
And Nell eats them, even though she hates muffins.
She hates them, but she pretends to love them because she doesn't want to hurt Sadie's feelings.
Yeah.
And that is such a character-defining trait.
But it is.
Nell is a pleaser. She suppresses her own discomfort, whether it's a muffin she dislikes or, a man's thigh pressing against her on a bus,
Yeah.
just to maintain social harmony.
Oh, that bus incident. Let's go deeper into that because it really stood out to me. She's sitting there, and this large man sits next to her. The bus is only a quarter full, yet he chooses the seat right next to her.
Right.
His thigh is pressing against hers.
That scene is pivotal because it highlights her claustrophobia and her conditioning. She's so uncomfortable, but she doesn't want to cause a scene. She just endures this physical intrusion until she literally has to clamber over him to get out.
It's so visceral. The bus lurches. The man is thrown against her. It's this clawing claustrophobia. She describes the heat of embarrassment. She wants to see his face, but all she can see is the back of his shaved head and a tattoo on his neck.
And then what does she do? She checks to see if he follows her.
Yeah.
It's not just annoyance. It's a survival mechanism kicking in. She's scanning for threats constantly. And just as she's recovering from the bus guy, a bicycle just hisses past her, nearly knocks her over.
It's a 1-2 punch of urban anxiety.
It creates a soundscape of threat. The hiss of tires, the heavy breathing, the silence of the office. B.A. Paris is using these sensory details to put us right inside Nell's nervous system.
Absolutely. And then amidst all this anxiety, she has her home, the Mews house in Paddington.
Her safe haven.
It's described as a safe haven, yeah, left to her by her great aunt Rose. But the architecture of it is so interesting. The kitchen has no windows, just a light well.
Oh, the light well. We are absolutely going to have to come back to that light well. It sounds architectural and chic, but in the context of a thriller. A glass roof you can't see out of, but someone can see in through.
It's a nightmare.
That is a total nightmare.
Precisely. It's a panopticon metaphor.
Mhm.
And she's obsessive about security, locking up, checking rooms. She has this whole routine where she waves to the taxi driver from the window to prove she's safe inside.
Mhm.
She is doing everything right physically to secure her perimeter, but emotionally, she is incredibly isolated. She doesn't really socialize with her neighbors. She keeps her friends, Romy, Rob, Marcus, at arm's length.
Until Alex. Let's talk about Alex Stanton. Because when Nell is the fortress, Alex is the Trojan horse, or maybe he's the prize. I don't know yet.
Right.
He's described as drop dead, gorgeous, 44, works as a consultant for U.S. companies exporting to Europe. He lives in D.C., but comes to London 1 week a month.
It's the perfect setup for someone who wants intimacy without, full integration. A long-distance relationship, by definition, allows for compartmentalization. The sources describe their time together as a honeymoon phase. They don't go out much, they stay in bed, they eat pasta at the kitchen island. They're just intensely focused on each other.
Which sounds romantic, right?
Yeah.
You are my everything. But when you look closer at the text, you see the isolation.
Yeah.
She hides him from her friends. Romy and Marcus haven't met him for months, and he seems to keep his life in boxes, too.
Consultant is the ultimate fictional cover, isn't it?
It really is.
It explains the travel, the irregular hours, the money, but it requires zero specific details. Marcus, her friend, he jokes he's a spy. But honestly, in a thriller, consultant usually means person with secrets.
They meet at a party. Nell is bored. Alex sweeps in with champagne. I mean, it's a fairy tale meeting.
A total fairy tale.
He's divorced, has a son he doesn't see. He's estranged.
Yeah.
And that estrangement is another red flag we sort of glossed over. He has a 20-year-old son, Stefan, who lives in Paris. And Alex says the son blames him for the divorce. He says he was the bad cop parent while his ex-wife, Delphine, spoiled the kid.
Yeah.
He calls himself a failure as a father. We weren't mature enough to have a child. It makes him sympathetic. You want to hug him.
It does.
But looking back, is it true? Or is he estranged because he's dangerous? We only have his version of events.
And Nell just accepts it. She accepts it because she has her own estrangement. She has no family. She grew up in care. She feels unworthy. So when this handsome, slightly tragic older man pays attention to her, she just latches on.
She calls him her everything. But they only see each other 2 weeks a month. The rest of the time, he's in D.C.
Or so he says.
Or so he says. And that gap, the 2 weeks he is away,
Right.
is where the paranoia festers. And it brings us right back to the house. The Muse house, we touched on the light well, but the layout is so crucial to the tension. It's a small cul-de-sac. Delivery vans have to back down it. It's secluded.
It really is.
And the kitchen is extended into the garden area. So it's this long room with an island in the middle. And the text says, if you can't get upstairs, don't let yourself be backed into the kitchen. Don't let yourself be cornered behind the island.
That's a quote from Alex. He's giving her tactical advice.
Yes.
You have knives on the counter. Scream! He is coaching her on how to survive a home invasion in her own house. Is he protecting her? Or is he rehearsing the crime?
That gives me chills.
Yeah.
Don't let yourself be cornered behind the island.
Mm.
It's foreshadowing 101.
Okay.
And the notebook entries specifically mentions that island. The stalker says, I imagine cornering you there. It would be an easy kill.
The convergence of Alex's safety advice and the stalker's fantasy is almost a perfect circle. It suggests they are looking at the space through the exact same lens.
The lens of violence.
Yeah. But before we, tear Alex apart, which I'm sure we will, we have to understand why Nell feels she doesn't deserve happiness. We have to go back to the origin story. We have to talk about Elle Nugent.
This is the inciting incident, the trauma that split her life in two. It starts almost innocuously. Elle is sitting by a window reading a book. She hears a shout.
And she sees a girl, Bryony Sanders, on the street. Bryony's phone has just been snatched by a moped thief.
Classic London crime. Happens all the time. But then a car pulls up, a black car with silver rims. The driver, a handsome American guy, shouts, jump in, we'll go after him. And Bryony gets in.
It's the knight in shining armor reflex. In the moment, it looks like a good Samaritan act. But Elle, watching from the window, has this moment of recognition. She realizes she bumped into this exact man earlier that day at a supermarket. He dropped a jar of honey. It's a tiny detail, the honey, but it grounds the memory. She knows his face.
But honey jar is the anchor. Memory is so fallible, especially in trauma. But sensor details, smells, sticky textures, they often stick.
Right.
So Elle is in the supermarket. She bumps into a guy. He drops a jar of honey. It shatters. It's a mess. He smiles, apologizes. It's a meet cute that turns into an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. She identifies him as Brett Parker.
And then the news breaks. Bryony Sanders isn't just missing. She's found murdered in a burned-out car near Wimbledon Common. And Elle knows, she knows, that the man she saw driving the car is the last person who saw Bryony alive.
This triggers the obsession. Elle goes to the police, gives a statement, helps with a sketch. But the car is identified as a rental. The man she identifies, Brett Parker, has an alibi. The police hit a wall, but Elle doesn't.
This is where Elle turns detective, or maybe stalker.
Right.
She refuses to let it go.
Right.
She tracks this guy, Brett Parker. She follows him to his home in St. John's Wood. She follows him on the tube. She follows him to his office in Southwark. She even poses as an investigative journalist to confront him and his son, Damon.
It's a compulsion that's born of guilt. She feels she didn't do enough to stop Bryony from getting in that car. She needs Brett Parker to be the villain so she can be the hero who redeems the whole situation.
Yeah, she convinces herself she is the only one who cares about Bryony Sanders. She projects all her need for justice onto this one man. She even calls his son. She pretends to be a journalist named Sarah Stevens.
But the tragedy is in the confrontation. She's watching the Parker family at a restaurant. It's the son, Damon's 18th birthday. A happy family moment. Parker sees Elle watching them through the window. He snaps. He storms out of the restaurant, shouting at her. And in his rage, he runs into the road.
And is struck by a car.
And
killed, just like that. She wanted justice for a murder, and she ended up causing a death.
The fallout is catastrophic. Elle is charged with involuntary manslaughter. The press vilifies her. She loses her job. She loses her identity. She becomes a total pariah.
And that is the weight she is carrying in the present. She believes she destroyed a family. She believes she's toxic. That's why she reinvented herself as Nell.
It explains so much about her current paranoia, doesn't it? She's not just afraid of some random stalker. She's afraid of karma. She's afraid that Damon Parker, that angry 18-year-old boy who pointed at her and screamed, "It's her fault," is coming back to collect a debt.
And this brings us to the third perspective.
Yeah.
The voice in the shadows. The excerpts from Notebook 4. Because while Nell is worrying about the past, someone is very actively documenting her present.
Oh, these entries are terrifying. They are written in the first person. The stalker talks about watching her on the bus, watching her do crosswords.
Yeah.
He knows her perfume Acqua di Gioia Profumo. That is a level of intimacy that just makes my skin crawl.
It's the intimacy of surveillance.
Huh.
But notice the tone. It's not just observation. It's disdain mixed with possession. He hates that she looks classy. He hates that she seems happy.
Right.
There's a specific entry where he watches her buy fruit apples, pears, kiwis, and wine. He knows she's having friends over. He is analyzing her grocery shopping to predict her schedule.
And the refrain. We have to talk about the refrain. Not that it matters when I kill you. Ugh.
It's so dismissive, like her life, her choices, her favorite perfume. None of it matters because he has already decided her fate.
It creates a sense of inevitability. The fear of being murdered is often worse than its actual deliverance. He says that explicitly. He's enjoying the terrorizing phase.
Oh, yeah.
He mentions watching her through the light well in the kitchen.
The light well. See, I told you. He's up on the roof, looking down at her while she's cooking, while she's feeling safe in her windowless kitchen. That violation of her sanctuary is just total.
The question is, who has that level of access? And who has that level of hatred? Is it Damon Parker, grown up now, seeking revenge for his father? Or is it someone closer?
Which pivots us perfectly to Section 4, the perfect boyfriend, Alex. Because if we are looking for someone who knows her routine, who knows her perfume, who has access, we have to look at the guy sleeping in her bed.
Let's look at the data points on Alex. On paper, he's the dream. But when you lay out the facts provided in the source text, the pattern is, it's disturbing. Specifically, the pattern of dead partners. 2 of them. 2 dead girlfriends. First, there's Ariane. She was murdered in her flat in Belgravia, a burglary gone wrong, supposedly. And who found the body?
Alex. Discovering a body is traumatic, certainly. But then we have Caitlin. Caitlin died in a skiing accident. She fell into a ravine while off-piste. And who was the last person with her?
Alex.
Alex.
That is a lot of bad luck for one guy.
It's a lot.
Or it's a pattern. And what's worse is the secrecy. Nell didn't know about Caitlin at all. She finds out at a dinner party from Beatrice's friend.
And yes, Oh, it's humiliating.
It is. She's sitting there eating duck, and suddenly everyone is talking about the other dead girlfriend.
And Alex was vague about Ariane, too, until he was pressed. He keeps these tragedies hidden. And then there are the tech anomalies. You mentioned it earlier. He has no voicemail.
No voicemail.
He never uses video calls. He calls her. She rarely reaches him. In the modern age, specifically for a business consultant working internationally, that is highly irregular.
It's a huge red flag. Nell's friend Marcus, who we should note, has a massive crush on Nell, jokes that Alex is a spy. But is he a spy? Or is he hiding a double life? Or is he the stalker?
Well, consider the flowers.
Yeah.
Yellow roses arrive at Nell's office. Anonymous, no card.
Right.
Sadie, the assistant, thinks it's a secret admirer. Alex claims he sent them, says the card must have fallen out. But did he? Or did the stalker send them and Alex just took credit to cover his tracks? Or because he is the stalker?
And yellow roses can symbolize friendship, but they can also mean jealousy or a waning love. It's such an ambiguous gesture. And the stalker in the notebook mentions watching her at work. It feels like the circles are just overlapping. The stalker knows things only Alex should know, or Alex knows things the stalker knows.
And notice the data void regarding Ariane. Nell tried to Google Ariane murder Belgravia. She finds nothing.
Yeah.
That is a massive plot hole in Alex's story. A murder in Belgravia of a wealthy young woman. The press would be all over it. If Nell can't find it online, it implies one of two things. It didn't happen, or Alex is lying about the details.
Or the name is wrong, or the location is wrong. But why lie? Unless he killed her and covered it up, or unless she never existed. This all just converges so violently in Section 5. The escalation, the boundaries between Nell's paranoid past and her current reality, they just start to dissolve.
Let's talk about that dinner party again. The Caitlin revelation just shatters Nell's trust. She lies to Inez about how she's getting home just to avoid sharing a ride. She's spiraling back into Ella mode, hiding, lying, tracking.
And then the home invasion. This is a critical piece of evidence. Nell returns home and feels the house is different. She calls Sadie and Simon is a police dog handler, by the way, a very handy friend to have. They sweep the house.
And the verdict, no forced entry. The lock wasn't picked. Whoever got in used a key.
Which narrows the suspect pool dramatically.
Right.
Who has access to a key? Nell has her key. She claims she never gave one out. But who had the opportunity to copy it?
Well, there's Marcus. He was at the house for dinner previously. He went upstairs to use the bathroom, but then he left the house to buy champagne. He was gone for a while.
Yeah.
Could he have sprinted to a key cutter? He's jealous of Alex. He's been checking up on Nell.
It's possible obsessive love can mimic the behavior of a stalker.
It can.
But then there's Alex. He has implicit access. He stays there. He could have easily copied a key. But he is supposedly in the U.S. when this break-in happens.
Supposedly. But we know he travels constantly. And we know he's a liar by omission.
The tension really snaps at the office door. It's raining. Nell is locking up drop-in. It's dark. She feels someone behind her. She grabs her key like a weapon, ready to stab someone in the eye.
Yeah.
She spins around.
And it's Alex. He's holding an umbrella. He says he flew back early to explain about Caitlin. But here is the crucial detail. In that moment of shock, Nell thinks she hears him call her Ella.
L.A. Not Nell. Her secret identity. The name associated with the manslaughter charge. The name she buried.
He denies it, or rather the moment passes too quickly for her to confirm it. But this is the breaking point of her reality. Is she hallucinating from the trauma? Is her brain just filling in the blanks because she's terrified? Or does Alex know who she really is?
If he knows she's Elle, then everything changes. It means their entire relationship is built on a lie. It means he potentially sought her out. Did he know Brett Parker? Was he connected to Bryony Sanders? Or is this a different game entirely?
And this ties back to the honey jar and the identification of Brett Parker. What if, and just hear me out, what if the alibi was faked? Or what if she saw a lookalike? What if there's a twin? Or, and this connects back to Alex, what if Alex is the guy she saw?
Now you're thinking like a detective. Alex is American. Brett Parker was American. Alex is handsome, dark hair. If Alex was the real driver and Brett Parker was just an unfortunate lookalike, then Elle killed an innocent man.
And the real killer walked free. And now he's dating her.
Oh, wow.
That would be the ultimate twist. It would mean Alex has been watching her for years. Maybe he approached her because she was the witness, to see if she recognized him.
And when he calls her Elle in the rain, he's testing her. He wants to know if the Nell mask has slipped, if she remembers the honey guy.
It forces us to reevaluate the Notebook 4 entries. The stalker hates her for her classy look, for her happiness.
Oh.
Does Alex hate her? Or is he just playing a twisted game of cat and mouse?
So we have a woman who is terrified, who doesn't trust her boyfriend, who thinks someone has been in her house. Logic dictates she should run. She should go to the police. She should go to a hotel.
Instead, we get the cliffhanger dynamic. Section 6. The psychological collapse. Nell decides to confront the situation. She goes to Alex's hotel, 54 Marlsborough.
She goes to the lion's den. And can we talk about the elevator? This feels significant. It's an ornate, wrought iron cage where you can see out as you rise. It's beautiful, but also exposed. It's like she's ascending into the trap.
She reaches his room. Alex opens the door in a bathrobe.
Yeah.
He's shocked. Like, genuine shock. This isn't the cool, calculated villain waiting in a chair. He's vulnerable.
Yeah.
And the concierge, he didn't call up. You just let her in. You'll find him on the 5th floor. That is odd. High-end hotels usually announce guests.
Unless Alex left instructions. If a woman comes, let her up.
Which means he was expecting her.
Which means he knew she would break. And this is where the human element just overrides the thriller logic. Nell went there to interrogate him. She went there to scream, "How many dead girlfriends are there, Alex?" But instead, she sleeps with him.
It's a collapse of resolve, but it's psychologically consistent. She is starved for comfort. She is terrified. He represents the only safety she has known in months. Even if that safety is an illusion, it's a trauma bond.
Yeah.
She chooses the immediate physical comfort of his arms over the terrifying intellectual truth of his potential guilt.
It's so frustrating. You want to shake her, but it's also so real. And while she is in his arms, while she is choosing to ignore the red flags, we get the final punch to the gut, the final notebook entry.
The stalker reveals he was in her house. He mocks her security measures. He talks about her waving to the taxi drivers. He says, "I could have killed you already." He is enjoying upping the fear factor.
So someone was definitely in the house, and Alex was supposedly in the U.S. or just arriving. But the stalker knew about the lights. He knew about the routine.
It leaves us with this terrifying triad of possibilities. Possibility 1. Alex is the stalker. He's gaslighting her, flying back and forth, playing a sick game.
Right.
Possibility 2. It's Damon Parker, the son. He's grown up, he's found her, and he wants to terrorize her before killing her, just like she terrorized his father.
And possibility 3, it's a third party we haven't seen yet, maybe Marcus?
Or, here's another thought. Is Alex the target?
Ooh, interesting.
Think about it. His girlfriends keep dying. Is someone stalking him and killing the women he loves? Is Nell just collateral damage in a war against Alex?
That is a fascinating inversion. But looking at the source text, the notebook seems so focused on Nell, on her specific habits, her crossword puzzles, her fruit buying. It feels personal to her.
Yeah, you're right. I want to wipe that smile off your face. That sounds personal. That sounds like someone who blames her for their misery. Damon Parker blames her for his father's death. He lost his dad on his 18th birthday.
Wow.
That is a villain origin story if I've ever heard one.
And revenge is a dish best served cold, years later, when she thinks she's safe, when she's happy. The stalker specifically hates her happiness. He hates that she's buying wine for friends. He wants to destroy her joy before he destroys her body.
It's a mess. A terrifying, tangled mess. Nell is sleeping with a man who has 2 dead partners. She's being hunted by a voice that hates her, and she has alienated everyone who could help her. She has isolated herself perfectly for the predator.
So, listeners, here is the question we leave you with. When the title says, "When I kill you," whose voice is that? Is it the stalker? Is it Alex? Or is it a promise from the past finally catching up?
The clock is ticking, and Nell has just walked into the hotel room of the man who might be holding the knife.
We'll be sleeping with the lights on tonight. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into When I Kill You. Stay safe, check your locks, and maybe don't get in the car.
Indeed.
Catch you next time.